the RUTO regime has a campaign of instilling fear and intimidating Kenyans and obliterating any contrary opinion.
Is it possible?
Look, for instance, at Boniface Mwangi. What had he called for? He had asked people to occupy the Stand Chat Marathon, not to do anything bad to it, but to go in national flags. When did it become an offense to don yourself in a national flag? So what incitement to do what? To do something positive? When we call for people to plant trees, is that incitement? If you're asking people to cause violence, that's different.
Yeah.
But if you're saying occupy with a national flag, what offense is that?
Is it possible that the executive then is unaware that individuals or trios or couples of people are being picked up and they do not know? Is it possible?
I believe they are not only aware, but I believe also this is sanctioned by William Ruto himself.
You know,
this has now become their signature way of operating. It is not once, it is not random, and it is tens of people who have been abducted, maybe hundreds. If you are in power and you suggest that those things are happening without you knowing, then obviously you are in slumber. You ought not to be there. But there is no way this can be happening without them.
The push for a new constitution was for, among other things, to make sure that there's no return of such. Right? People being abducted, people being picked up, people being held incommunicado. You know, there are laws that say that you must be presented in court within, 24 hours.
24 hours,
and police have got to come and justify and even request the courts if they want to hold you a bit longer. You've got to be charged. The whole journey towards bringing a new constitution was trying to make sure that such things never occur again.
Indeed.
It's only 14 years in a new constitution. This is happening now in this administration. In the previous administration, there were still other complaints. People, bodies turning up in Rivayala and elsewhere. People who just disappeared and they have not been seen again. Are we saying that our constitution actually created and left loopholes? Because there's been no constitutional accountability to the administration of Uhuru Kenyatta and the administration of William Ruto over the disappearance of people and the turning up of people dead, whether in Shakahola or in Rivayala or elsewhere.
I want to agree that this has been happening even during the previous administration. In the Kibaki administration, and that was before we passed the 2010 constitution, you remember there were extrajudicial killings of people, in quotes, seen as Mungiki. That was totally wrong. And I remember raising the issue within, and eventually it's one of the issues. Human rights is one of the issues that caused my resignation. Human rights, corruption, and issues related to the administration of justice. In the Uhuru RUTO, again, administration, because RUTO was a core part of that administration, bodies surfacing in Yala, and people being abducted. Although not as widespread as now during the RUTO regime, but the bodies in Yala were quite a number. You remember Willie Kimani? You remember all those things. Now it is happening, and since the Gen Z riots with abandon, RUTO had said when campaigning that extrajudicial killings will be a thing of the past. In my heart, I was skeptic of those statements because the way I know him, I know he's a person who does not respect the rights of others. You cannot condone or be part of corruption and at the same time say you respect the rights of others, because corruption does affect the rights of others. So I suspected this would happen. It has happened. He is mum. He doesn't say anything. You remember the court trying to press the police to produce Bob Jaggi and the Langton brothers, and them completely refusing.
Yeah.
If you are the one in charge, even the Attorney General was silent, only surfaces in court to try and plead for Masengeli.
Now that's why I'm asking, Martha.
So they owned the impunity. They have openly owned the impunity. What can you imagine?
Welcome back to the Mora TV. So, Martha Karua, while in an interview with the Spice FM, he had something to say, and as we are going to maybe see what he talked about, we're gonna start that she started saying rather than the RUTO regime has a campaign of installing fear in Kenyans. We saw what happened to Bob or the Boniface Mwangi, who had asked Kenyan to occupy this marathon with drugs. So that's a very different types of occupation which Boniface Mwangi had called for, as Martha Karua says. He says that if you tell people to plant trees, that's not incitement. If you tell people to come with flags, that's not incitement. So he went ahead to say that if then Ruto and executive is not aware of these abductions and these things which are going on, then the executive and Ruto might be in a very big slumber. If these things have not happened once or twice, then it's there. There is a signature of operation, and looking at the push for the new constitution, which pushes for somebody to be presented in court within 24 hours, we have seen a lot of people who have been abducted by the so-called police and they have not been presented to the court within 24 hours. You look at the new constitution is only 14 years old, but it has still been met with a lot of non-respect for it. The administration, for example, these abductions have happened with various administrations. When you look back, the administration of former President, that was Uhuru Kenyatta, the extrajudicials were still happening, and these things were even they were body servicing in the River Liala. But now Martha Karua claims that it is happening more in this regime than it was during the RUTO administration. Bodies were servicing River Yala, but not much higher than what is happening at the moment. We have seen what has happened since the start of the Gen Z revolution. The numbers have gone higher. And Martha Karua also says that one can't be part of corruption and then you say that you respect human rights. I know what she is eating about, or she is eating directly to, but the things which have been happening the various days, the last few days, have really been sickening, and they have thrown Kenyans into more worry, and this is exposing this regime badly. This regime came in with a lot of good promises, but whatever has been happening the last few days has really exposed this regime badly, and most of the people now don't believe it, according to the latest interview which was done in the streets of Kenya. So that's it for today. Make sure you keep it Mora TV.